everyone, this is Gary Trendle, Chair of the Hopkinton Planning Board, and I'd like to give you a quick recap from our July 18th, 2022 meeting. First and foremost, it was great to have everybody back in a room, and thank you to HCAM Studios for hosting. It's nice to see everyone in person. From an agenda perspective, we had a handful of administrative items, and then we had 3 public hearings, of which we were actually able to make a decision and vote on all 3 of them. From an administrative perspective, we had 2 topics related to the Chamberlain Street and Wayland Street. As the chair, I actually recused myself, given that I live on Chamberlain Street, but there were some decisions made. The first was with regards to the recommendation for traffic calming and speed calming on Chamberlain Street, and the board recommended that a speed table be installed where the center trail intersects with Chamberlain Street. And then the second was a tree planting location to replace the trees that were cut down as part of the scenic road permit for the new utility lines that are being installed. The other 2 administrative items we had, first was with regards to the Turkey Ridge subdivision, which is down between Cedar Street and Lumber Street Extension. And this had to do with the land conveyance for the open space component that they're donating. The applicant was requesting that they could actually start building homes and potentially selling several of the homes prior to conveying the land, as the land can only be conveyed through town meeting. And the board thought that was a reasonable request, and the board voted to allow them to pull permits and occupancy permits for half of the total units that they're allowed to build. So that would be 4 units, just in order to help ease their cash flow and help them continue moving forward with the project. And in general, the board felt that there wasn't a risk to the town, given the road, the bond, and the houses that they wouldn't be able to yet build until that land is conveyed as part of the open space approval. Then we also had an approval not required for 20 Pleasant Street and 9 Commonwealth Ave. This one was relatively straightforward. It's simply a function of moving some land from one lot to another. Didn't impact frontage or setbacks or anything else. From a public hearing perspective, we voted to approve the major project site plan, special permit for parking reduction, and stormwater management plan for 103 to 109 South Street. I think this is a great project. Applicant was a good partner in working through a few of the challenges that we had. In general, they've done a nice job of building it into the topography of the site. And I think something else that was nice to see is they're actually building a pretty substantial amount of underground parking with some really nice planning for future electric vehicles, which I think was nice to see, but I think it'll be a very nice site for South Street. The second one was an amended definitive subdivision for Box Mill Road. This is down off of Leonard Street, and some relatively minor changes to the stormwater management system to resolve the issues of runoff going down Leonard Street and onto an adjoining property. So that was approved. And then the last one was for 8492 West Main Street. This is the new gas station, the Alltown gas station that's going in. And they had, there were 2 parts to this. The first was the proposal for a shed behind the building. And this is to store primarily the material that you use in case there's a spill of some kind, but reasonably straightforward. They still need to go before the Zoning Board of Appeals for setback. But this was a shed that was also approved by the Design Review Board as well. The second part of the application was to include a second sign, and the board had a little bit more debate about this. The property is allowed 2 signs by right, but there is still a lot of questioning about where the second sign was located, and I think in general, just the amount of light that is being generated from the site. I think that it has is quite a bit more than people were expecting, but the developer did agree to lower the maximum sign height from 10 feet to 6. And again, as it's by right, the board voted to approve that as well. So that's our quick recap from the meeting. Our next meeting is August 8th, 2022. We will be back to remote just for some travel obligations that some of us have. But if you have any questions, by all means, you can always reach out, and hope you all are enjoying your summer.